live. Hey, it's Monday evening, and it is time for my journey through fear, anxiety, and panic attacks. And I have to apologize for those of you who have come to know that I do these Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. You know, so you might kind of wait for them to come on. And I did not do one last Friday. I think since I think this is the 13th week that I've been doing these. I think I've missed maybe 3 Fridays. And last week it was one of our son's birthdays, and we went to Grand Rapids and hung out with them and babysat. So just kind of escaped me, and then I got to the point where I was like, I'm not going to just try to kind of fit it in. So I apologize for that. Hey Cindy, how are you tonight? Thank you so much for watching and sharing all the time. I'm so blessed by that. Very, very blessed by that. So anyways, tonight's going to end up being a bit sobering. I think maybe that's the word, that sobering. I had something planned for tonight, which I'm going to do on Wednesday when I come on, because there was something else that came up today that kind of rocked my world a bit. So I was like, that is what I'm going to share from this evening. But before I do want to say that the YouTube channel is now up and running, which is very, very cool. There's 29 of the, I think there's 33 or 34. Hey Amber, how are you? 29 videos that are up now, and there's going to be at least 6 more or so that are going to be up very shortly. So all you have to do is go to YouTube. You can just do youtube.com, from your browser on your laptop or your iPad or your iPhone. And then where there's the search thing, you just put in Reclaiming Peace. And and it'll go to my channel. There's a couple channels that have Reclaiming Peace in them. I don't think there's another one actually called that, but you can see kind of my picture there and click it, and there's all 25 videos going from, 29. And it starts kind of down and works its way up, but it's very cool. Hey Elma, how are you tonight? Sweetie, good to see you. So you can watch any one of them at any time, right? It has, all the topics so easy. So, please let people know, if you know that there's people who need this. There's my husband cleaning the pool behind me. I'm sorry. Anyways, and they don't have Facebook, they're like, well, I'm not on Facebook, I don't have a Facebook page or whatever, then share that with them. Like, hey, no problem, you can go on YouTube and you can see it, Reclaiming Peace. That's all you have to type out, and then you'll see all those videos. So just a cool way to be able to use, social media. Oh, Cindy, is that it? Did you put it on here on the comments? Thank you. If that's it, that is so sweet of you. Thank you so much. So I think this is it, and you can just click it, and it gets right to it. So, anyways, hey Mary, how are you? So yeah, it's just another way to use social media for the good, right? So awesome, when you can use it like this and be there for good. So all right, I've been on here Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, like I said, for about 13 weeks now. And I am talking about my journey through fear, anxiety, and panic attacks for 25 years. I struggled with that from the time I was 11 until I was in my later 30s. And, it wasn't just anxiety as people sometimes talk about it now, right? Once in a while, people are like, oh my gosh, I had a panic attack, or oh my goodness, I'm going to have an anxiety attack, I'm going to have a panic attack about this or that. And a lot of times, I get it, I get what they're trying to say. There's something stressful in their lives, but a lot of times it isn't. a full-blown panic attack. You know, it isn't that, you know, it's just some stress and anxiety, little, you know, some fear that they may have gone through for some situation that they might be in. Hey, Larry, how are you tonight? But I'm talking debilitating panic attacks. I'm talking run out of the house screaming panic attacks. I'm talking, I feel like I'm going to die panic attacks, you know. That's the kind of panic attacks I'm talking about. That's the kind of panic attacks that I had for that long, okay? And did anything and everything that I could. You know, if you listen to my other videos, you know, it goes into that. You know, the medication route for a very short period of time, counselors, therapists, psychologists, psychiatrists, read books and things. You know, we didn't have internet access at that time. There was no internet, you know, in the late 80s, early 90s, and mid, you know, it was just coming out the late 90s when I broke free. Or did what I needed to do to break free, which I have been now for a little bit over 20 years. And my message of hope is that if I can, so can you. So can, yeah, absolutely. So anyway, I'm not going to talk big time about that. I guess I want you to know, those of you who maybe haven't heard these before, like where I was at. It was not a good place. I'd learned to live with it. I've learned to cope with it. I had learned to do things with it very uncomfortably, you know, dying inside, falling apart inside while I'm trying to keep up doing right. Gave birth to 4 children during that time, during this whole time. I have 5, but the last one I had already broke free. So, yeah, it's a horrible way to live. I always told my husband, you know, it's got to be like what hell is like. Hellish existence. Hellish way to live. Totally. So, here's the deal. So, Saturday, I saw a post on Facebook, and one of my Facebook friends who happened to see this article was asking for prayer for a young pastor. Maybe some of you guys have seen this floating around on Facebook, from a church in Inland Hills, California. Looked like a big church. I went on the church, who attempted to take his own life on Friday, and they were asking for prayer on Saturday for him, or she was saying, you know, like, lift him up in prayer. I don't think she knew him or anything, you know, she just saw the article about it or whatever, but like, lift him up in prayer. He's on life support, and you know, we know that this, you know, awesome things could happen yet. So today my husband, I told my husband about it. He comes and shows me that somebody else had posted that he did pass away today, yesterday, I'm not sure. So this really hit home. Sure, I'm going to get emotional because I did today when he showed it to me. So I just want to read you the first paragraph. It says, members of Inland Hills Church in Chino, California are now grappling with grief after their lead pastor, Andrew Stokeline, I'm not sure how to, succumbed to self-inflicted injuries on Saturday after a battle with depression and anxiety. His church said he was 30 years old. So, you know, I saw the picture, him and his wife, beautiful family, 3 young boys. And, you know, I'm reading the whole, you know, article and things. They don't know how long he had been struggling with it. It sounds like they knew he took a little sabbatical this summer. He had some health issues like last year and stuff. His dad had passed away like 3 years before, and it sounds like he took over. And at one point his wife even said, you know, you don't have to be pastor. She said, you don't have to. But this really spoke to me because, you know, I have been doing this. I have a website, Reclaiming Peace. I have a program which I'm going to talk to you guys about in a couple days. And there was, when I first started it, after about the first year of reaching out, I've done a class at my church and things like that. I've done a couple Facebook Live classes with this. but a little bit before that, and even kind of during that, it was like, there was like this thing like, just give up. Like, this isn't, people aren't listening to you, Heidi. People aren't, just, this isn't going to work. This isn't, and I came really close. I came really, really close to saying, you know, I thought this was kind of what God wanted me to do, but you know, I don't know. I don't know. But something within me was like, no. And this is what birthed these videos. You know, when I see things like this, I'm like, wow. You know, this young pastor, he's just a neat looking guy. You know, I've got a son who's 32, just turned 32, who struggled with this, not as long as I did, because we nipped it, you know, quicker than, but 3 kids, and got to the place of feeling hopeless. You know, and my husband was like, today again, and he's asked me before, he's like, but you would have never done that, right, honey? Like, you would have never taken your life. And I said, you know, I wouldn't have. And there was one big reason that I wouldn't have, and that was because I was afraid of everything, including death. Everything I had fear of, everything. So it was like, no, I wouldn't have for that reason. And so, and I had 4 kids. You know, that was like the thing that kind of kept me going at times. However, I would say often, and think often to myself, I can't live like this. You know, I can't live like this any longer. I would say that a lot. And that's what this young pastor said. I can't live like this anymore. You know, gosh. You know, it just makes me so sad when I see this. You know, it is a horrible way to live. It is a spirit of fear that gets in there, because you know what? There's an enemy of our soul, of our mind and our will and emotions, who's relentless, and who doesn't care who he preys on. In fact, he knows who to prey on. He knows the weaknesses. He knows and can get in there and cause that feeling of hopelessness. I get it. I was there many times, feeling, hopeless. I can't live like this. I can't do it, man. I can't go everywhere I go. I'm afraid. Everywhere I wake up, I'm in fear. I get, you know, I think I'm going to die. There's physical symptoms that go with it, right? It's a vicious cycle that goes on, and you might get a little reprieve here and there, but basically you're going around that hamster wheel of fear, anxiety, panic attacks, depression. You're on medication. It's just not working. You know, this is a side effect of this and a side effect of that, and you don't know what to do anymore, and it's hopeless, right? But I'm here to tell you, it's not. It is not a hopeless situation. And when I read something like this, it gives me so much fuel to keep going, to keep going, and to say, no, and I'll tell you, when you're out there, I always call it kind of like taking territory, right? And trying to take the enemy's territory away from him, trying to take that fear away from people, trying to help people to, this summer too, man, I started these videos, and a little bit into it, I started getting hammered with all kinds of crazy stuff, emotionally, physically, and it was like, I'm making him angry, man. I'm making that enemy angry. He's like, no, I don't want you doing this. I don't want you reaching out, but I'll tell you what, this is fuel for me to keep going. Everybody that has been watching these, and when I go places, when people have told me, I have watched your videos, Heidi, I've seen your videos, I've shared your videos, I gave so-and-so your videos, and somebody who I don't even know, made some comments, and my daughter-in-law says, "Hey, that's my, that's a relative of mine, and she's watching your videos." And I'm with everything like that. I'm like, oh no, I'm not done. I am not going to quit. I am not going to stop. I am not giving up. I am not giving in. Because man, do people need this, and they need to know there's hope. This gentleman needed to know that there was hope. He needed to know that there was hope, that he didn't have to live like this. What, honey? Don't quit. Oh, thank you, Sue. Yes, absolutely. Sorry, my husband just brought the phone over. Sometimes I don't see all the comments. Yeah, what was I saying? Like, he needed to know this. You need to know this. If you're watching this and you're like, I'm ready to give up. I am ready to give up hope. I can't do this. I can't live like this. I can't. Then you need to know this. You need to know that you do not give up hope. Do not give up hope. God is so much greater than fear. God is so much greater than anxiety. He is so much greater. And I'm going to tell you something that you may not believe right now, but I'm going to tell it to you because it's the truth. That you have everything in you right now to break free. You have everything in you right now to break free. It just all needs to be brought out. It just all needs to be brought out to the surface. And then you get to the root of it and you pluck that root out and you have freedom after that. Oh, I am so incredibly passionate about this. So incredibly passionate to keep going and to keep doing this. I say this all the time. I am the vessel. I am the vessel that God chose. If you would have told me 30 years ago that this is what I would have been doing, I would have thought you were nuts. No, this is just, I'm a vessel. I've overcome, and I can give people hope, and I can give people encouragement, and I am the vessel that God is going to use, and I believe it. I believe it. I'm like, Lord, man, I'm asking for hundreds. I'm asking for thousands. I'm asking for whatever. Use me as you want to. Use me as you want to, Lord, to help people break free from this hellish way of life. Yeah, it's horrible. But there's hope. That's my message of encouragement and of hope, And again, you can go back. You can watch the videos. You can get on the YouTube channel now. I talked about that in the beginning. All you have to do is search Reclaiming Peace. They're all there. There's going to be about 6 more uploaded within the next few days. And Wednesday and Friday's message is going to be how I broke free and how you can too. Is what I'm going to go into, right? But pray for this young man's family. Pray for his wife and his family, the young pastor, that took his life because of anxiety, depression, because it had drained him of hope. It had just drained him of hope. And I get it. I've been there, but I'm not anymore. So I want you to keep your hope alive. And tune in on Wednesday. Tune in on Wednesday and on Friday, or listen to it at a different time, because there, like I said, I'm going to let you know what I did, and I'm going to let you know what you can do to break free and to begin to live the life that God has intended you to live. He didn't intend us to live life in fear. Sometimes people, well, maybe that's my lot in life. Maybe that's my thorn in the flesh. Maybe that's just how I have to live. Are you kidding? That's a lie from the pit of hell. How many times does God say fear not in the Bible? Now, why would God say fear not if he brought it on you? That makes no sense. Or if he wants you to live that way. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. It's not the way you were designed to live. It's not how you were meant to live. Not at all. So, anyway, it's a sad story. It's a sad story. Unfortunately, like I said, tonight's sobering, but it fuels me. it fuels me to keep going, and it gives me the passion, continues to give me the passion that I need to annihilate this thing called fear, anxiety, panic attacks, depression, and to help set as many people free as possible. So anyway, that is my message tonight. Erica, to listen to. Absolutely, Alma, I will pray for Erica. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, have her go on YouTube now. Just look up, Reclaiming Peace, and all the videos are there. You can watch them in the comfort of your own home, and you can see the topics and whatever it is that might be speaking to you. You can watch those. Absolutely. But God bless all you guys for watching, and those of you who have shared and liked and commented and things like that. I'm so grateful. You don't know when you share any of these videos, when you like them. Now, if sharing the YouTube, letting people know, you have no idea that you may touch someone like this young pastor, that might just listen to something that he needed to hear, that it might have been that day that they said, you know what, I can't do this anymore. I can't live like this. I'm really thinking I can't do it. At the end of their rope, at the very end, and who knows, that they may listen to one of these videos and just go, wow, that was what I needed to hear. That gave me hope to go on one more day, and then maybe another day, and maybe another day. This precious man's life was snuffed out way too early, way too soon. So anyway, that's my message tonight. That's what I have to say. And again, I will be back on Wednesday to give you more information about how I did this and how you can do it as well. So anyways, and I pray for you guys that are on here. I pray, for the people that it reaches, that these videos reach, that it just touches a part of them and gives them at least that glimmer that says, I'll keep listening. I'll keep moving forward, just to give hope, enough hope needed, right? So anyway, thanks you guys. Have an amazing night, and I will be back here on Wednesday evening.